Hey friends, are you tired? Have you had a horrendously crappy day, week, month, 2020? I understand you. And when I feel pretty crappy, I don't always feel like making something awesome. I may be hungry, but I just don't feel like putting in the effort. You know what I mean? I know you know. So today, we're gonna make a grilled cheese. Because what the heck is easier than a grilled cheese, right? But we can make the grilled cheese better without a ton of effort. So let's make something awesome with low effort. So, what's the most important part of a grilled cheese? It's the cheese. So here we have a variety of different cheeses, from sliced American and white American, Fontina, Gouda. We've got some Gruyere. We've got some sharp cheddar. The possibilities are endless. But my personal preference is to combine a gooey, melty cheese with something that's a little sharper. And, pro tip, grate your cheese. It melts so much better. If you just slice it up into thick slices, it's not going to melt and it's not going to be good. So grate it up. And don't forget the bread. Bread's really important. This is not your average sandwich bread. This is fresh bakery bread that is much more crusty than your average Wonder Loaf. This yields a much better texture when you cook it in the pan. It gets nice and crispy and crunchy instead of kind of just sticking to the roof of your mouth. Now you can see I'm applying some mayonnaise. Now you can use mayo or you can use butter on the outside, but I find that using mayo and then cooking it in a pan with butter kind of gives the ultimate crust. Mayo is really just an emulsion of eggs and oil, so it's just pure fat, as is butter. And you can see that I'm spreading this on both sides. So on the outside, it's going to help give you that crispy texture. On the inside, it just kind of helps with the cheese, combining with the cheese and just adding to its overall gooiness and flavor. And here's our carbon steel skillet. Just got a squirt of oil with the butter, and we're gonna let that melt. Okay, now let's assemble our sandwiches. Pretty easy, right? We're just gonna put the cheese on the bread. And again, I like to mix up my cheeses. Something that's gonna be nice and kind of gooey, along with something that's gonna have a sharper flavor. So here I've got some sharp cheddar, and I've got some Gruyere. So the cheddar and the Gruyere are both going to be kind of sharper cheeses that have more flavor. And then here's some Fontina. Fontina has a much milder flavor, but melts super well. So you're going to get the best of both worlds by using a combination of cheeses. On this sandwich, we're taking the same approach, but we're using some American cheese to help us with that ooey gooey meltiness. The butter has melted, and we've got the bottom of the pan completely covered. So now we can drop in our sandwich. Pretty easy, right? Just drop it in there. You can move around a little bit, make sure the whole bottom is covered in butter. But once this is preheated and you got it in there, just let it sit. It just takes a little time. Feel free to give it, the good old spatula push down, just like so. You always have to do that a couple times, right? Smushes that cheese together, lets it mush into each other. But once the bottom has been thoroughly toasted, you want to give it a check and go ahead and give it a flip. And look at how crispy and crunchy that is. Here's a pro tip. After your sandwich is done, sprinkle it with just a little bit of salt. This is going to help flavor the outside, because the outside is really just butter and mayo. It doesn't have a whole lot of inherent flavor there. So add in a little bit of salt, and that'll help enhance the flavor. And look at that cheese pull. That's what you get when you combine melty, gooey cheese with the harder, sharper cheeses. You get the flavor and you get the texture that you're looking for. Check it out. God, look at that. It's so good. And no sandwich, no grilled cheese sandwich would be complete without some tangy tomato soup. So we're just going to dip it in here and shove it into our mouths. Look at that cheese pull. It's crunchy and it's cheesy and you've got everything that you want. And it was so freaking easy to make, even though you were totally exhausted and didn't want to do anything. You've got a meal here that totally soothes your soul and gives you a chance to enjoy something when the rest of your day has been so goddamn crappy. Fans, if you've also had a crappy day, week, month, please like and share and subscribe. Thank you.